be seated. Dr. McKean, members of the selection committee, faculty, parents, and students, welcome to Kents Hill School's National Honor Society induction ceremony. We are gathered here to formally recognize these students who have been selected by our faculty for successfully completing their candidacy to be inducted as members of the Kents Hill chapter of the National Honor Society. Thank you all for joining us tonight and for your support of these wonderful students. For any NHS members who are here this evening or who happen to be viewing the ceremony online, we hope that this ceremony will serve as a reminder of the standards of excellence that we are charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition program. Founded over 100 years ago, the National Honor Society currently has over 1 million participants around the world. Members of our chapter serve as role models for other students in our community. They have worked hard in the classroom and have demonstrated dedication and commitment to their sports and activities. In addition to the strong academic records which establish the eligibility for membership, our chapter members serve our school and community by giving their time as volunteers. Some favorite volunteer activities of this bunch include changing the story walk at the Reed Field Library, giving tours to prospective Huskies, helping neighbors in need, or working on a blood drive. These students understand that serving others is a meaningful way to improve their own self-worth and competence. We are proud of all their efforts, and we welcome their energy as new NHS members. Membership in the Kents Hill School chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by these candidates through the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve as standards for the society. Current members of the chapter will now review these qualities for the candidates. We begin with scholarship.
Scholarship. Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours reading and studying, knowing the benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life, which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Next, we have service.
My office is service. Service can be established in the routine of the day's work, where many opportunities arise to help others both at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need with without monetary compensation or public recognition, is the quality we seek in our members and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Next, we have leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, the real leader strives to help others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are not effective without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed, thus to lead is a meaningful charge to each of our members.
And finally, character.
Character is the force within the individual that distinguishes one person from another. It creates for each of us our individuality and our goodness. Without character, one cannot respect oneself nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character that guides a person through life and, once developed, grows steadily within. Character is achieved and not received. It is a product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
Now, Mrs. Nanoff will lead us in reciting the NHS pledge.
At this time, will the new inductees please rise, raise your hand, and repeat the pledge? The audience can follow the text as printed in your program. Please join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands, and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character.
Thank you. Now, as your name is called, please step forward onto the stage to receive your tokens of membership. First we have Aiden. Benjamin Chapdelaine. Haley Clark. Blythe Dennison. Madison Greenaway. Renaud Gremullet.
Lucian Gross, who's not here tonight, but congratulations, Lucian. Samantha Holston. Amira Jurdes. Gwendolyn Lewis. Leah Ma. Palmer Maggart. Helena Malcomen. Gianni Meadows. Caitlin Mitchell. Kira Modiwala. Stephanie Unaco. Felix Antoine Taranto. William Precourt. John Wesley Randall. Gavin Roque. Emily Roy. Christina Tran. And now, I would like to ask you to join me in welcoming our keynote speaker for this evening's ceremony, Mrs. Robin Stelmach. Mrs. Stelmach currently serves on the board of directors here at Kensville School and is the proud parent of senior Ben. And Robin has spent the past 4 years supporting Ben and acting as a mentor and friend to many of you. Robin has had an expansive career in finance, where she most recently retired as the Executive Vice President and Vice Chair of MFS Investment Management. I'm pleased to welcome Mrs. Robin Stelmach to share her thoughts on character.
Congratulations to all the inductees and to all the family and friends who supported them along the journey. As you sit here tonight, you may not realize what this amazing accomplishment evidences character. To be selected, you showed academic excellence, your service dedication, your leadership, and your strong character. I believe your character is the foundation for all the other pillars, and that's what allows you to move forward. Tonight I want to speak about character, share a little story. I had an executive coach, and they gave me a really good thought to keep in mind as as I proceeded in my career. They said, when you walk into a room, you carry 2 suitcases. And those 2 suitcases carry your character. They contain all your actions and all your reactions, all the choices that you've made. I thought about it. Is that true? When someone walks into a room, do I have a preconceived notion of who they are based on my previous interactions? It was true. I learned from that as you grow and you fill your suitcase, you're going to have people view your character in that way. The character is not something you're born with. You shape your character, and your character will evolve based on the choices you make and the actions you take. Ashley read the character definition. What attributes resonated with you? Honesty, courage, perseverance, fairness, empathy, respect, integrity. Did you ever hear the concept of it's not the how, it's the what? The recognition is not about your grades or your accomplishments. It's about how you obtain them. When you walked on stage tonight, we knew you made sacrifices. You made sacrifices to take time to study, to give back, to help others. You demonstrated the core of who your character was. That dedication, commitment, perseverance, they're in your suitcase. When you were challenged, you figured out how to overcome those challenges. You worked harder, you asked for help, you did something different, but you never gave up. You made choice to miss social activities, to work hard, to help others. That's what you're going to carry for the rest of your life. Your peers, your teachers, they're going to remember how you made them feel or how you helped them, not about the GPA. When you're interviewed for a job, the interviewer wants to know who you are. Your application will tell them your National Honor Society, so they know you can set a goal and you can accomplish it. But they want to know the how. My favorite 2 questions were, what are you most proud of and why? And what was your biggest failure? And what did you learn from it? My goal was to determine what you valued and how able you were to self-reflect. That's what your character is based on. Having a great character is not about being perfect, being in charge,
or being popular. It's about doing the right thing when no one's watching. It means taking risks and failing and learning from those things. Without naming any names, I'm going to share a few character traits that I was so impressed with our first and all first until National Honor Society members. Celebrating the success of the person you tutor versus celebrating your success. Owning your mistakes and not hiding them, even when it meant being
the housekeeper
treating the house
with the same respect that you treat the headmaster. Sitting with someone because they were sitting alone. Cheering on your teammates when you're on the bench. Not blaming yourself for losing a game, but looking inward to see what
what you could do differently. Being there for a friend when they were going through a rough time and just listening and supporting them. Having the courage to stand up for what is right, even when your peers opposed you. Making up your own mind about an individual and not listening to what others say. Taking action because it was the right thing to do, not because you were recognized for doing it. And changing the conversation from negative to positive. And encouraging everyone you're with to be more positive. You know who you are, probably from the statements, and I am so proud of you for those character traits that you will carry for the rest of your life and build upon. Your character will constantly evolve based on life's experiences, how you treat people, how you act when no one's looking, how you stand up for what is right, and your ability to make up your mind and not be swayed by your peers, your ability to make your mistakes and learn from them. The best piece of advice I can leave with you is when you're deciding on an action to take, pause, think about it, and ask yourself, can I put my head on the pillow at night and have no regrets? In the words of John F. Kennedy, do the other things, not because they're easy, but because they're hard. It sounds so simple. Follow your dreams, do your best, challenge yourself, be your best. But it takes courage and strength to stand up for what is right. I believe if you follow your passion and are true to who you are, all your dreams and goals are achievable. So as you take the next step of your journey in life, what will you be adding to your suitcase? It's up to you to decide how you want to make a difference in the world. What will your future look like? How do you want to be remembered? When you're faced with adversity and challenges, remember you are in control of your actions and your reactions. Be the person you aspire to be, remembering one person can make a difference, and positivity is contagious. So go. Best of luck to all of you, and congratulations on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robin, for those inspirational words. I know we all were listening very carefully. Now I'd like to welcome our head of school, Dr. Molly McKean, who will offer her congratulations and some closing remarks.
Thank you so much to all of you for being here, to Mrs. Stelbach for really such inspiring and lovely and personal comments about the students that we're honoring tonight. And I add my congratulations to this fine chorus. To our honorees, I am so proud of you. And I hope that you take a moment, and especially on a night like tonight, to feel a sense of pride in yourself. And I'll also note that pride is a word that gets a bad rep. It's a loaded word, right? One of those ones that very quickly cuts both ways. I believe we should feel proud of the best things we do, of the best things that we are. But pride goeth before the fall, or at least that's how the expression goes. Pride is a value. It's a thing of good, a thing that brings meaning to our identities, that fuels our capacity to love ourselves. And it's also a thing that we're told is best felt in moderation. Too much, we are warned, we might get big-headed, maybe too big for our britches, with the threat of a fall to follow. By coupling it with prejudice, Jane Austen definitely threw some shade at the word as well. And believe me, that kind of excessive pride is not what I'm wishing for. But what a dilemma, right? to have to take that kind of thing that could be good and exercise that kind of balance, to temper something like that, and not to be able to say unequivocally and full-throatedly, I hope you feel so much pride in what you have accomplished. That concept of balancing a value like pride is one that I think about often. I think about it, especially as I think back on the kind of student that I was in high school. There, I was driven by a very different kind of value and strength. I was a worker. AP everything. Late hours, long nights, library squad all day, baby. I was, by most every measure, a very good student, which I say with no ego whatsoever, because I was also, in a much more meaningful sense, a very terrible student. I had this overdeveloped muscle for grit and tenacity that made me, ironically, very poorly equipped to be a scholar in the broad sense of what that asks from us. And the full and hilariously painful tale of how I realized that about myself will be a story I think I'm probably going to tell at graduation, along with what I learned from it and about how that failure made me stronger. But for tonight, I only wanted to share some thoughts with you, some of our most accomplished students, about how you can ensure that the superpowers that you so clearly possess never run the risk of becoming their own kind of kryptonite in that way. Because it's the classic caution of the superpower tale, right? That however great our superpowers might seem, if we wield them too wildly without discipline or limit, we risk burning out. And as we grow strong in one direction, we push ourselves mightily towards excellence at one thing. We might grow so strong in that direction that we become unbalanced and we falter. And you are such obviously strong students, which requires a package deal of superpowers in this world. All those superpowers you have so obviously, so tenaciously wielded, how do you keep yourselves in balance? It was in a very lopsided moment of my life when I first encountered the theory of polarity management. It is a theory, a way of thinking that suggests that there are forces in this world that are opposite, but wherein we need both of the opposite things in our lives to survive. Just as we couldn't breathe in without breathing out, we need these opposite things in dynamic tension with each other. You can't breathe in without breathing out. And it's in doing one thing that you make the other thing possible. And in that way, breathing in and breathing out are not unlike, for instance, things like work and rest. Polarity management recognizes that these two quite opposite things, work and rest, we can't ever choose one or the other. We always need both. And we need the interplay between them to give them meaning. Work cannot exist without rest, because it is rest that makes us ready for work. And rest does not exist without work, because you can't see rest as rest if you're not tired, if you don't need the rest from the work. A polarity is a relationship between two opposite things that need each other. And since both are essential, all we can do is balance those two opposite things. And how we do that in our lives, moment to moment, is how we decide who we are, how we decide what matters to us, how we shape the kind of character that Mrs. Stelmach was talking about. Pride and humility is another great polarity. It is good to be proud, and it is good to be humble. And none of us should ever be all one thing or the other. We should all be proud some of the time when there is something to be proud of, absolutely. And our fear of excessive pride should never have us run all the way to the other extreme, all the way to humility. Some humility is very good, of course. To be humble makes us appreciate the strength of others, the opportunities for our own growth. It's about knowing these two things are opposite and knowing that both of them have to be in our lives that makes us full people. So one of the greatest tricks I found to keep me centered in the complicated world that we live in is always to think, okay, so what is the superpower that I'm wielding in this moment? And what is the exact opposite thing that would make me even stronger right now? What's the opposing force to the thing that I am doing or feeling that will add some electricity and dimension to this thing that I am doing? when I have been super focused, which can be great? Have I made time for the kind of play and release that will allow for that focus to be renewed and extended? When I have been super adept at play, having tons of fun, rallying, connectivity, and joy, have I checked in with myself? Have I centered myself and reconnected with my own priorities? To every strength we wield, considering the opposite pole doesn't mean we're going to stop exercising that superpower at which we were then currently adept. It does mean we will be wielding it with intentionality and knowing it's a choice we're making about what is best for us in any particular moment. And you, our honorees tonight, have so many superpowers. I hope that you love these. I hope that you celebrate them. And I hope you wield them wisely. Wield them knowing you're only ever going to be stronger when you remember that the exact opposite thing of what you are doing also has its place in your life and value in the story that you're going to tell about yourself. And the reason I think this was so much on my mind as I was thinking about tonight, it's back to that question of pride, with which I began. Appreciation of our accomplishments is such a good thing for us to do. It makes us take perspective and think, this is why I worked so hard. Or look at how far I have come. And as we exercise that strength and that value, we always know we won't topple into excessive pride if we also pause and remember the other polarity of humility and gratitude. And yes, there were other people who helped me to get here. And yes, moments of accomplishment like this are not just for and about me, they are for and about my family, my teachers, and my community. And yes, no matter how far I have come, there will always be more to go, because our learning and our development never end. But when you can keep an eye on that opposite pole of humility, what I love about knowing and thinking about polarities that way is that it gives us a sense of choice and it gives us permission to let ourselves have that moment of pride on a job well done. And that is what I hope for you as you rightfully celebrate the accomplishments being honored here tonight. You have only gotten here by persevering, by pushing, by being hungry, by being ambitious. And surely after that kind of work and tenacity and seriousness of purpose that you have displayed to get here, a flip side of perseverance must be celebration, which must surely have its place, and clearly a dose of celebration is richly deserved tonight. So congratulations to all of you. I feel for you just that right amount of pride in all you have done.
Thank you so much, Dr. McKean. I'd like to thank our selection committee as well as the members of our community who made this ceremony and its broadcast possible. Thank you all so much for attending. Students, we're so proud of you. I've enjoyed learning about the walking in order with each of you. Because 24 of you is a lot, and that means that we're doing great things here at Kents Hill School. So congratulations to all of you. If you would, please stand. And if you all would please join me one more time in applauding and celebrating the great accomplishments of these students. We'll let Mrs. Schuler play you out, and we'll go out to the entry and have cookies and lemonade as part of a celebration. So congratulations again.